Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that can't fall. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law I say, hideth sunrise and sundown. Him I go dear like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in his season. Him leaf never I go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yay! The heathen them now they saw them there like a chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon judgment, or see them and them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah love the way of the righteous and the way of the sinner, man them always and always. I go perish. Let my people, the people of the Most High God, say, Joe! Kadama we groma be atela e exact beer tanayistalin abba shante 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 kadama we groma be atela e. Where two centuries meet in the name of the Most High Jah. So Jaja de. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way. If Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, and them is saved. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. How mauso bolisa addanu water ewo a sick player for. I give thanks. I give thanks. Oh, kadama we groma be ate la e. Akpe. Mauso bolisa akpe. Akpe kaka. Akpe. Akpe. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And whenever this black pot rests on the fire, there is something very nutritious cooking. But it doesn't come that easily, and it's not by chance. It's careful planning. Watch this. Ingredients of so many different colors and sizes, and even smells and aroma, decide to come together and put aside all differences to reaccommodate themselves in a black pot and be subjected to some amount of heating. The final product is that nutritious product we call food, to keep us alive and well nourished. Now you must remember that the ingredients and the black pot preparing the food do not even benefit from the food that they make, but we benefit from the food. So selfless. This is what is called selfless service. That is why we must also look at it with a third eye. Now the black pot represents the continent of Africa, and the ingredients in the black pot represent us as a people. Some of us are tall, some of us are short, some are big, some are small. But we must put aside all these differences, creed, and even faith and religion. Oh, and even skin tone, and come together to interplay so that we will be able to produce development for our people, our continent, our land. Now, we must not only think about ourselves. Just as the selfless ingredients in the black pot decided not to think about themselves, we must not only think about ourselves, but think about generations to come. That is what is called generational thinking. Hear me now. We must be a tree planting generation, the Joshua generation. We have planted the corn, we have planted the tomato, the onion, and the pepper for far too long. We want to plant something that we can harvest in a few days' time. Eat, sleep, die, and go and be forgotten. Nobody wants to plant a tree because he knows he will not live long enough to sit under the shade of this tree. But remember that the trees whose shades you are enjoying now were planted by people who thought about you at a time they knew that they will never be able to sit under those trees. They would have died. Selfless thinking. thinking, generational thinking. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. And hear me now. The very interesting thing about our thing is that we are in the service of God and country. We normally would not criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is what we are doing. We are rewiring the minds of our people. The biggest problem of Africa is not the problem of schools and roads and hospitals. It's the problem of the mindset. That is why we are rewiring the thinking of our people, our generation. If we are able to deal with the mindset of this generation, generations to come would all be sitting down and be enjoying the fruits of this mindset. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. When you go to China and Japan, you see school children being taught how to reassemble machines, how to reassemble computers. They are on TikTok and they are competing with each other as to who would be the fastest to dismantle a whole aeroplane engine and fix that, whilst we are here competing with each other over who has the biggest buttocks and who has the biggest breast and who can have the longest sex and who has the biggest tool in front of his pants. My brother, my sister, we must grow beyond that. It's not all about sex. That is why these days you see so many people going for injections to increase something and something, so that they can come on these platforms that are supposed to let us exhibit our mental acumen. But rather, we get onto those platforms and exhibit our buffoonery. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Come with me, my brethren. We are live on Pan-African TV. We are the masters of Pan-Africanism. We are also live on Loud Silence TV, live on Ghana Web TV, live on Black Empire TV. Our numbers are scrolling on your screens. Pick up our numbers and do business with us. The more you do business with us, the more you prosper, and the more you prosper us too, so we can continue rewiring the minds of the people. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, and my name, Black Rasta. First on the agenda today is coming like a bullet from Otagon. Puyaka, Puyaka! Incredible. Watch it. Ghanaian partner thief at Afrochella. Today is all about thieves. Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. How many of us read that? Watch this. This is Afrochella 2022, when Afrochella came. In fact, the whole world heard about it. We saw so many people coming from all walks of life to come to Ghana and then be able to see something interesting happening in terms of the arts, music to be specific. We saw some artists come down like MEEK, who came and performed for us, and some other artists from Nigeria, Ghana, and some other parts of Africa. It was a beautiful event. But it had some skeletons in the cupboard. Oh my God. Today we're going to tell you something. This is a son of Kennedy Ejapon. Kennedy Ejapon is an MP. Now he wants to be the president of this country. So many people call him the loud-mouthed guy because he is always talking. He has his good sides and he has his bad sides. His good sides, when he sees something bad, most of the time he will come out and say that. His bad sides, sometimes he does not choose his battles well. He goes down into the gutter and he struggles with the pigs. And when you get into the mud and the gutters and you struggle with the pigs, people will consider you a pig too. Another bad thing about Kennedy Ejapon is the fact that sometimes he's overly selfish. If it does not suit him, then he will fight it. But if it suits him, no matter how bad it is, he will keep quiet and take it and pocket it, all in the name of business. That's my opinion. He's a man who speaks his mind just like me. And I love him. We have met before. I think we like each other. My brother, my sister, this is his son. He looks like him. Now this guy here, keep the photograph there. Watch him. Is the founder of Afrochella. Afrochella also has roots in America and some other places. It's a huge festival, a big brand that is spreading. Now we have heard from deep-throated sources that what? Kennedy Ejapon used his influence in government, because his party is in government, to be able to siphon money from the tourism ministry so that his son will sit on that money in the name of Afrochella. I hope that this will be investigated so we can look into it and see if truly some wrong is being done or not. Is it nepotism? We want to check it out. You know what nepotism is? Family and friends. Is this the most qualified guy to do the work? He is the founder of Afrochella. Yeah, he has some other partners. But my brother, my sister, whatever it is, this is the guy who is running the show and is the son of a loudmouth politician in Ghana who wants to be president. Now we all are fighting against family and friends. This is the politician's son, and he's the one who was the biggest music festival in Ghana. When it's time for that festival, everybody comes around. That is where my excitement is. I love to see something like this. I have played in so many different music festivals around the world, from Ghana Day in Guyana, all the way down to Massa in the Ivory Coast, Abbey Reggae, and so many other such festivals. So I value festivals. But what is the root of this festival? Is it nepotism? I would like to know. But today we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Ghanaian partner thief at Afrochella. Who is that chief thief? Watch it. It says, our Ghanaian partner printed fake tickets for 2022 concerts. Co-founder of Afrochella. Did you see that? Come. Watch it. It says what? The co-founder of Afrochella, Ken Ejapon Jr., has disclosed that the Ghanaian company contracted to print tickets for the 2022 Afrochella concert secretly printed fake ones. He explained that despite their blue, purple and yellow original tickets, there were other orange tickets in the public which he said were fake. Although he refused to reveal the name of the Ghanaian who was contracted to print the tickets, he expressed certainty that the company was responsible for the fake tickets that for last year's concert. Speaking on Daybreak Hits on Hits FM Tuesday, he said some people purchased tickets, but they could not be admitted into the concert because their tickets were not genuine. Our tickets were in 3 different kinds: blue, purple, and yellow. But all of a sudden, there was an orange one. Now, the Ghanaian company we contracted for the printing of Afrochella tickets printed fake ones for their own gains. So people were complaining online that they didn't get in. They didn't get in because their tickets were fake. And it's so sad to say this, but the reason why there was a fake ticket was that we used a Ghanaian to print it. And he also did some. The co-founder also explained that he knows the fake tickets were printed by their Ghanaian contractor because they have never had any incidents of the tickets as they have been printing them from outside Ghana. Dash. So this is the mentality. We have always printed the tickets outside Ghana, and we have never had any problem. First time we printed it in Ghana, a Ghanaian thief decided to print more. He's already believed that it is a Ghanaian thief. He is also buying into the idea that if it is printed outside Ghana, you have no problem. But once it's printed here, the thieves are ready. And you are doing what? What are you doing? What are you doing? Year of what? Return or year of thieves? Is it a year of return? Now this concert or festival is being sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism. And the aim of Ministry of Tourism is to be able to get people to return home to Africa using Ghana as the gateway. And these are the stories that you're giving out. Oh, when you print it outside, in America, we have always printed the tickets in America, you know, and it's always been good, man. Everything has been so good. But the very moment, man, that we printed in Ghana, man, the thieves came into play, man, and everything just went haywire. Listen, brethren. The guy is not ready to mention the name of the printing house. But he's bold enough to tell us that all this while that they printed tickets outside Ghana, they had no problem. But the moment they came to Ghana to print, there are thieves springing from different corners, from the printing press, printing fake tickets. But he is not ready to help uproot the thieves. Why are you so much in a hurry to say that there was a thief that you saw, yet you cannot mention the name of the thief? Why are you saying that? So that what? Now, going away from this guy, let's look at our Ghanaian attitude too. It's also very stinking. I don't know what is wrong with a lot of us Africans. Didi preku. We want to eat it all at once. We don't want to eat gradually. It's a proverb. Didi preku. Didi preku. We want to eat it all at once. When we could have eaten every day, a bit of it every day. We go in there with greed. We want to have it all. We don't want to go for bits and pieces so other people too can benefit from it. How many Ghanaian businessmen have said that they are not comfortable employing Ghanaians? All because of this thievery. And it's not only Ghanaians, Nigerians as well. Remember that it came to a time that 419 was the middle name of Nigeria. Everywhere you went and there was a Nigerian in there, you would never do business there. True? I was in Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans did not want to see Nigerians. I was in South Africa. South Africans were slaughtering and killing both Zimbabweans and Nigerians, calling them thieves. Do you see the paradox? In Zimbabwe, Nigerians are thieves. In South Africa, both Zimbabweans and Nigerians are thieves and they are killing them. My brother, my sister, the Africans are so divided in Africa, yet when they leave the shores of Africa, they become united outside the shores. What's wrong with us? Listen to this attentively. Nigeria was able to fight this 419 middle name by using music, Afrobeat. They used music, preached out, and reached out to the rest of the world saying that, hey, even if you call us thieves, we have another talent, and that talent is music. Nigeria has been able to rewrite its history. Now, when you see a Nigerian, you are thinking about Afrobeat. True? If I'm lying, tell me. Today, when you see a Nigerian, when you hear names like Amunike, names like Shola, you know that you are heading towards Nigeria. The next thing you think about is Afrobeats and not 419. That is the power of music. So if our businessmen and promoters are trying to use music to rewrite the history of this country, they must be careful what kind of stories they send out. Or else, it will be an Operation Zero. I'm not saying if there's a thief, don't say there's a thief. When you mention the thief, make sure that you go deep into it and we'll get to know who this thief is so that we avoid the company of the thief. Nobody would go there and the business would collapse. But as long as you shroud the name of the thief, he will continue doing his thievery. And that will not help us. How many people think I've made sense? And how many people think that I've not made any sense at all? Come! Ghanaian partner who is a thief decided to ruin Afrochella. But they had all their evidence, which they have not given to us. But I want to ask another question. When the tickets were made, how did they do them? Did they leave everything to the printing house? Or did they get the printed tickets and they decided to put some other security checks on them? I just want to know. Because no printing house would be silly enough to know that. The organizers asked us to print purple, yellow, and blue. And then they will go and print orange as fake. I don't get it. You want to hear it again? Now the organizer, Ken Ejapon Jr., says that they asked the Ghanaian printing press to print 3 types of tickets. Blue, yellow, and purple. Right? But when they went to the gates, people came with orange tickets. Is the printing house stupid? How did they do it? I don't get it. How did they do it? My brother, my sister, we need to be able to get into it. Even though the printing house was not mentioned, we need the printing house to come out, or else we will remove you. We have the tickets and we'll find out which printing house printed it. We will bring your name out. We have to go to the bottom of this thing. Listen, if we are not careful, we are going to import the 419 middle name from Nigeria and keep it here. The Nigerians have been smart to deal with it, and I praise the Nigerians. But we might not be smart enough to deal with that. I don't know how many people are listening. Ghanaian partner thief at Afrochella. To God be the glory. But again, Afrochella, if you are putting up a great festival, please play live music. It's so cheap that you get so much sponsorship from the government, and you bring karaoke artists. You know karaoke, right? You bring artists who play back their music and just hop around like pregnant frogs on stage. Some of them even sing off-key to their own music, pre-recorded music with vocals and everything. It's only in Ghana I see this. I remember when I was a beginner artist and I went to Holland. The band that was supposed to support me was not around, so I asked the organizers, well, in my country, we can put in the CD, the music is playing, and I just karaoke, mini vanilli. The song said, are you sure you want to do that? I said, oh, yeah. We entertain people doing that. He went away. 20 minutes later, he came back to me and said, Blakk Rasta, are you sure you want to do this? In fact, I'm not looking down on your professionalism, but in this country, if you do not want to be stoned, do not ever do that. The worst you can do is to play the instrumental and sing along the instrumentation. But it's totally unacceptable to play back a fully recorded material and just karaoke. Leave that for your fans. Let your fans learn how to sing your lyrics. Not you grown-ass artists with over-bloated images. Then Afrochella will pay you thousands of dollars for you to come and make a mockery of the people. And it's funny, the people too are standing there, hey, that they are enjoying it. Enjoying what? That's why our music is not going anywhere. There's too much mediocrity. Nobody can sing live. Burna Boy and the rest are all singing live. They are. Fela sang live. Can you go to Fela? Wake him up from his grave and tell him he should come and do karaoke of his music. He will roll you up and smoke you like ganja. He will roll you up, smoke you as his last ganja, kai, and go back to his grave. It's an insult for any artist to come on stage and karaoke. And some of your big artists that you brought on Afrochella, that was what they did. And those who came from America and the rest started tweeting and telling the whole world, oh, we came to experience the African rhythm. But we didn't really feel it. Please, bring authentic African artists who will represent the motherland. Don't follow hype. There are artists who are so hyped. And when they come on stage, they are hogwash. Next to nothing, undesirable. They are weeds. Afrochella, write a better story. Who is that thief? We need him. So we can hang him. Better still, crucify him. Dash it away and bring me the next thing. Watch it. What does it say? Rolling. Rwanda refuses to take refugees from Democratic Republic of the Congo, DR Congo. Interesting. Really? Now look at the beautiful country of Rwanda. It's beautiful, isn't it? They have the sun sitting on their flag. It's a land that has so much sunlight. The sun is a source of power. The sun represents the power of creation. So if you have the sun shining in your flag, it means it's a land that has a lot of light and a lot of power. I love the flag. It's beautiful. So beautiful. Oh gosh. This is Rwanda. Listen, they went to war somewhere in 1992. And it was a civil war that became a genocide. About 1 million people were slaughtered. And when the whole world wrote off Rwanda, Rwanda came back. And Rwanda is one of the most thriving countries in Africa today. Technology is at its best. The people are at peace. Yes, the president is quite vindictive. If he realizes that you are his political enemy, you could get lost. But Rwanda has a president who is very vibrant. And he's been standing tall from when the war ended. Listen, a few days ago, the UK and Rwanda signed an agreement. Refugees from the UK were going to be brought to Rwanda. And on each refugee's head, the UK was spending some amount of British pounds. Rwanda was happy to take those refugees. And those refugees were coming from Africa. Majorly from Africa. Interestingly, Kagame accepted that. But look at the headline today. Is he singing a different language? Come on, let's read it. It says what? Rwanda makes U-turn on DR Congo refugees. And it says the conflict has displaced hundreds of thousands in eastern DR Congo. Rwanda's government has walked back on President Paul Kagame's stand that the country will no longer offer refuge to people fleeing conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mr. Kagame had said refugees fleeing across the border into Rwanda were not Rwanda's problem. I am refusing that Rwanda should carry this burden, the president said. But in a statement on Tuesday night, government spokesperson Yolanda Mokolo said Rwanda had no intention to expel or ban refugees. She accused the media of misinterpreting President Kagame's remarks. What the president addressed was the blatant hypocrisy in criticizing Rwanda, which simultaneously gets the blame for state failure in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and is then expected to accommodate those who seek refuge from the consequences of that failure. And she tweeted. Look at the tweet. And this is Yolande Moloko. Yes, and what is she saying? She says, nothing will change until the international community and DRC government stop evading responsibility and begin talking the true causes of the crisis. Blaming Rwanda, failed citizens on both sides of the border, feeds hate speech, persecution, causing yet more Congolese citizens to flee. Rwanda has no intention to expel or ban refugees. We always welcome people fleeing insecurity, persecution, and violence. We are asking for the international community to take responsibility for finding a durable solution for the forgotten group of refugees from the DRC. Interesting. This is the woman. Now, what is she saying? Paul Kagame of Rwanda has advised the government of DR Congo, please, this problem can be sorted out this way and that way. Let's get to the root cause of this and sort it out. According to Kagame, the government of the DR Congo is not listening to him. And boom, there is war. Refugees are fleeing. That's what she said. She accused the media of misrepresenting President Kagame's remarks. What the president addressed was the blatant hypocrisy in criticizing Rwanda, which simultaneously gets the blame for state failure in the DRC and is then expected to accommodate those who seek refuge from the consequences of that failure. That's the way. Listen, Kagame advised the people, they didn't take it. Now they have to take the bull by the horn. They are all running into Rwanda. It's very painful when one African country does its best to clean out its house and make sure that the whole country is standing on its feet right now. Other ones around that are so lazy and not ready to do anything to uplift their people. They are only politicking and stealing. Corruption is rife. When their members are running out, they run into the countries that have sacrificed time and energy to fix their country. But the interesting thing is this. Kagame is ready to take refugees from the UK. The UK government is paying Kagame to take these refugees. The DRC refugees are coming in. Nobody is paying for them. Who is going to feed them? The government of Rwanda must take care of them. Is it not painful when you advise a certain group of people and they refuse it? And when the consequences are coming, you are made to pay for some of the consequences. Think about it. Kagame might be that vindictive leader, but there are some things he gets right. Right now, there are bullet trains in Rwanda. Technology is on top. A country that went into a genocide in 1992. About 1 million of their citizens all slaughtered in cold blood. Some of them ran and became refugees in different countries. But they came back, brought back the country on a stronger footing, and have been able to move on. They agreed that Hutus and Tutsis should come together and deal with issues. Right now, they are moving right. And all of a sudden, refugees from other African countries are coming in. Other African countries that did nothing to help them when they had their genocide. What do you think about it? I think about something. Come here! If we are not careful, we're going to have the South African xenophobia in Rwanda. If we are not careful, the xenophobic attacks that we had in South Africa, we shall have that in Rwanda. And in Rwanda, it's going to be more terrible. There are only about 11 million people. It's a smaller country. They can track down every little snake who enters that country in the name of refugees. Kagame is so vindictive. He's unforgiving. He has gone through hell to be able to fix his country. So whoever comes to mess up his country in one way or the other, whatever forces are fighting against his country, he will track you down. My brother, my sister, let's be careful. South Africa went into apartheid. We saw how South Africans were slaughtered. Nigeria came out and helped South Africa. We took some South African students. They came to school in Ghana for free, in Nigeria for free. Some of them were housed all in the name of Pan-Africanism. In fact, our leaders, including Nkrumah and the rest, stood very firm to make sure that the African thing called unity would be a reality. At a point, we even refused, as the people of this great country, to deal with South Africa on some issues as long as it was being ruled by the apartheid government. It was all in solidarity with the people of South Africa. Interestingly, when South Africa gained proper independence and then stood on a stronger footing, we are the people South Africans are killing, that we are coming to take their food away. We are coming to take their jobs away. They are killing Zimbabweans, Nigerians, and anything that works that is black, that is not South African. According to them, they are attacking undocumented black people. Chinese can work for free. Indians work for free. As long as they are not black, they are not thieves. Just like the Afrochella guy said. So you are already prejudiced. This black guy coming, show me your papers. If you don't have papers, they set you on fire. South Africa is now prosperous. South Africa is beautiful. South Africa economically is strong. But it didn't just get up one day and it became strong. It worked very hard to be able to reach there after all the apartheid nuances, negative nuances. Today, my brother, my sister, Rwanda will duplicate the same thing if other African countries do not fix the foolishness. Democratic Republic of Congo, every time we hear about them is war. Fighting. We remember Kabila. We remember guerrilla fighting. Why? You go to England, It's Democratic Republic of Congo refugees all over the place. Why Africa? Are we so stupid that we cannot come together and even live in peace? Tribalism, nepotism, foolishness all over the place. And one country that has been able to fix itself, after fooling around, we run into that country and we call ourselves refugees. There must be a way to deal with this. But Kagame, if you can accept British refugees because you are being paid some money, I know it's very painful to give advice to people and they reject it. And when the consequences come, they expect you to pay part of that. Give it a human face. It's painful. It's very painful. That is why African unity must be taken serious. He was also a chairman of the OAU, now called the AU. Kagame, right? He was part of it. This is the time for you to embrace the African cause even more. Let the refugees come in. Employ them. You have mines. Put them there. Let them go and farm. Nobody will give them free food, though. They have to work. Give them the opportunity to work in your country. Document them. Make sure they contribute to their your GDP. That's the only way it will make sense economically to having them. Humanitarian-wise, accept them. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more to talk about. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Kukushonomo.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Come here. The next thing we want to look at is the story happening in the United States of America. Watch it. Watch it. It says Trump Tower, den of thieves. This is the owner of Trump Tower. It's a very beautiful tower in America. A group of officers. It's Trump's major business. Former president of America. I have been to Trump Towers and it's so beautiful. But for some time now, it looks like that place is churning out thieves. One thief after the other. One thief after the other. Remember, Trump himself had his tax returns published by force only a few days ago in America. The American system tries to be as transparent as possible. It's not like some of our dirty politicians here who make dirty money. They don't care how many people die. They can kill millions to make billions. They don't care. In America, they might not be angels, but they try to propagate cleanness and transparency. Trump did not want to publish his tax returns. And when it was published, remember we carried it here in the Black Pot? Yes! He had not paid tax for some years. And in some years, he paid as little as $100 or so. I don't have the details, but we did that. Today, I came across a news item that broke my heart. In fact, Trump's Trump Tower is nothing but a den of thieves like Alibaba and the 40 thieves. Today we're talking about thieves. I need you to sit back, watch the news item, and see Trump's main body, as we say in Ghana. In Nigeria, we say personal person. How he apologizes to the people of America and says that he's so ashamed of stealing money belonging to the American people using the Trump towers. You will see it all in this news item. Watch.
Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg was sentenced on Tuesday to 5 months behind bars for helping engineer a wide-ranging tax fraud scheme at the Trump Organization. Weisselberg, who is 75, was expected to be sent to New York's notorious Rikers Island jail. The Trump Organization's former chief financial officer pleaded guilty last August to all 15 counts he faced in an agreement with prosecutors, admitting that from 2005 to 2017, he and other executives received bonuses and perks that fraudulently saved the company and themselves money. Weisselberg also admitted to evading taxes and has paid about $2 million in taxes, penalties, and interest as part of his punishment. Defense attorney Nicholas Gravante.
He deeply regrets the lapse in judgment that resulted in his conviction, and he regrets it most because of the pain it has caused his loving wife, his sons, and wonderful grandchildren. Mr. Weisselberg also regrets the harm his actions have caused to the Trump Organization and members of the Trump family. He is grateful to them for their continued support throughout this difficult chapter of his life.
Weisselberg joins a growing number of former Trump associates who have faced jail time, including Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime personal lawyer, who was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for orchestrating hush money payments.
I am ashamed of my weakness and my misplaced loyalty.
Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chairman, was sentenced to 7.5 years for tax and bank fraud. He is now serving his sentence at home. Trump pardoned longtime friend and advisor Roger Stone days before his sentence was set to begin, convicted of lying under oath to lawmakers investigating Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. And Steve Bannon, yet another Trump advisor, was convicted of contempt of Congress and sentenced to 4 months, but has been allowed to put the jail time off while he appeals the ruling. Weisselberg, one of Trump's closest lieutenants, testified against the company in a separate trial that resulted in the conviction of the Trump Organization for tax fraud. But he never turned on Trump himself. The company is scheduled to be sentenced later this week.
I saw it. A number of thieves serving under an arrogant former president of America. Need I say more? Look at the number of thieves. This guy stole close to 2 million American dollars. The other guy who said, I'm ashamed of blah, blah, 2 million and over of the American people's money. How many of our people in Africa here are stealing? Evading taxes. How many people even pay tax in Ghana? Apart from those who are on the government payroll, some of who even find a way of evading tax. How many people pay tax? Companies are so good at coming together with you and planning to steal from themselves. You get employed and they say, okay, we are supposed to pay you 2,000, but we will write that we are paying you 800 so that the rest of the money we shall push into blah, 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 so that you can evade tax. They forget that the more tax they pay, the more deductions. When they retire, when that day comes when they can no longer show their panga, they will get some money coming from Social Security. That's why these days you retire. And then when the month ends and you go to the bank to collect your money as a retired worker, they give you 14 cedis. Meanwhile, the transport that took you to the place charge you 50 cedis. Your monthly retirement salary is 14 cedis. Why won't you die early? Oh, please, 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 please. Whilst we are strong and alive, let us save as much as we can. How do we save? Through the Social Security and some other such institutions. Or else we shall be stealing from ourselves. I won't talk anymore. When we return, we will resume. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show them.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show, where we speak truth to power. Next story. And what does it say? Watch it. It's rolling on your screens. Come in. Watch what it says. It says what? Thieves invade Egyptian Pharaoh's tomb. Thieves invade Egyptian Pharaoh's tomb. Why? Today is all about thieves. Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. And this is from BBC. Watch the story. Egypt stops bid to steal 10-ton ancient statue. The statue is of Ramses the Great, who died more than 3,000 years ago. A man died 3,000 years ago. His statue, somebody wants to go and steal. We shall find out. Watch it. The story says, Egypt says 3 people have been detained for trying to steal a massive statue of an ancient pharaoh using a crane. The prosecutor's office said the 3 were found in possession of digging tools, and the crane which they had tried to lift the 10-ton statue and excavate antiquities in the ancient city of Aswan. The statue is of Ramses the Great, who died more than 3,000 years ago. A probe is being held, and there are orders to investigate any further accomplices. In recent years, Egypt managed to recover thousands of antiquities illegally taken abroad. Statue of Ramses. Right now, every thief is finding his way into Egypt to go and steal ancient antiquities. They desecrate the tomb of the great pharaohs. They have stolen scrolls from Timbuktu, stolen statues from Benin, stolen so many different things even from Egypt. As Egypt has been struggling over the years to have some of these wonderful African antiquities brought back, they are still finding new ways of stealing those that they couldn't steal earlier. How sure are we that they are even returning the right antiquities and they are not fake ones? Right now in China, you can produce anything fake. This is a great pharaoh. Look at what they are doing to his statue. This is, and interestingly, today is a very important day. In fact, yesterday, we celebrated World Heritage Day. And some of these things form part of our history, our family tree, and so on and so forth. Please, leave our antiquities and heritage alone. Let us be able to tell our children and children's children the right story and still be able to point to some antiquities as evidence. Leave us alone. Dash it away and bring me the next thing. Watch it. It says what? Alan the coward wants to be president. Who is this guy? This is this guy. He's called John Alan Kojo Cherematin. He's a coward. Watch it. Alan K promises Ghanaians GTP during his presidency. And this is from 3 News, my own 3 News. New Patriotic Party NPP flag bearer hopeful Alan John Kojo Cherematin has served notice he will make himself available for election when the party opens nominations for its presidential primaries this year. He said if he wins the primaries and is subsequently elected president of Ghana, he will be a transformational leader to build on the foundations of past presidents of the nation. The former Ghana ambassador to the US therefore promised to roll out an ambitious program to achieve this immediately he becomes president. To achieve this strategic goal of transforming our dear country to become the shining star of the new Africa, I will as president launch and lead the execution of the Great Transformational Plan, GTP, of Ghana, which will span the period 2025 to 2030. That's 5 years. He will change and transform the whole country in 5 years. That's what he said. He said a new show dubbed Alan K Primetime Talk Show will be launched in the coming months to shed more light on his plan. Dash it. Now this guy is a coward. And I'm going to tell you very soon why he's a coward. He served as trades minister for so long under AKUFO, under Nana AKUFO-ADDO. Listen, when they were wasting money trying to build that dirty cathedral, this man was not in support of it. But he never ever came out because of cowardice to criticize that dirty cathedral. I don't want a president like this. He's a coward. And I'm going to tell you more. In fact, when he addressed the nation a couple of days ago, what did he say? He said he was not resigning from the Nana AKUFO-ADDO government because the government was bad, but he was resigning because a tenure of office is coming to an end. And therefore, positions have to be taken to replace this government. Listen to the coward. This Nana AKUFO-ADDO government is one of the worst governments we have had in this country. It's a dirty government. The president himself has lost his faculties. Old age has made him become like a vegetable. He's not able to make sense anymore. People who have met him recently will tell you that he's just talking. You start talking about a goat right now. Before you realize he veers from the goat, he's talking about an elephant. From an elephant, he's talking about a crocodile. And everybody's like, well, now the man has reached there. We all will reach there. I don't know if you will reach there. But I don't want to go there where I will live so long I don't make sense anymore. No, I want to go home. I don't want to be a burden on my children. My brother, my sister, he's ruling a whole nation. We have the right to know the mental state of our president. Is he okay? Can the health authorities check his medulla oblongata? Can they check his brain and find out if he's okay? If it's not, we will replace him on health grounds. Africans, you like all people as leaders because you think it's only old people who can think. Now look at where your president is. One of the worst presidents, still he wants to build that cathedral. Alan says it's not a bad thing. But I'm going to show you something. Watch this. It says what? Unaccounted gold exports. Ghana lost 1.1 billion American dollars in just 2 years. And this is from the graphic. The government's own communicator. And Abdullahi Bashiru, the pillar, head of organized crime and member of the illicit financial flows unit, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. That's him. Ghana lost a total of 1.1 billion American dollars through unaccounted gold exports between 2019 and 2021. Investigations by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, have revealed. the head of organized crime and member of the illicit financial flows, IFFS, unit at the Ministry of Health and Economic Planning, Abdullahi Bashiru Dapila, said the defaulting companies conceal the funds in gold exports without remitting proceeds to the country. This is about trade. Dash it away. It's about trade, ally. It's about trade. Who was the Minister of Trade between that period? This is the guy. If Ghana lost 1.1 billion American dollars under the watch of this man and the president who has lost all his mental faculties, why should I trust this man? He's only an elephantine version of the dwarfish African dwarf goat. Do you want to hear it again? This guy here is an elephant version of the African dwarf goat. Jesus have mercy. I think I have to say it again. Bring the other man, the elephant. This man is an elephant version of the bald-headed African dwarf goat. Jesus. Dash them away. Bring me the last thing and I'm gone. And come here. What does it say? President AKUFO-ADDO knew nothing about MEEK video. But who is this guy? Are you sure he said that? That is the communication director of the party in power. You sure he said it? Come here. Presidency had no knowledge of MEEK music video recording. And this is Ahiagba. He's the director of communications for the new patriotic party. Richard Ahiagba. Now, the director of communications for the new patriotic party, NPP, Richard Ahiagba, has said American rapper MEEK did not seek permission before recording his music video at the Jubilee House in Accra. His comments come on the back of huge backlash from the Ghanaian public on a teaser of the music video released by the American rapper moving around the Jubilee House with his crew from the frontage to the conference hall and other sitting areas. There has been public angst about MEEK Mill's release portions of the video via Instagram Reel. The rapper was later seen standing in front of the lectern, mostly used by the president during his address. However, in a tweet on Tuesday, January 10, 2023, the former deputy director of research at the presidency stated that the seat of government had no knowledge of the musician's actions. The former deputy director of research at the presidency. MEEK Mill's music video was not sanctioned by the presidency. Its permission was not sought whatsoever for the use of the video. Please dash it away. Are they serious? Are they serious? Hey, a guy came all the way from America, went to see the president, talked with the president. He shot a whole music video, had a drone flying at a no-flight zone. Security was fast asleep. He had no permission and shot inside the presidential palace. You guys are idiots. And I'm angry. Come here! Hi! So we are all sitting down here naked. We have no security in this country. Look. The National Security Minister, Kandapa, traveled all the way on an official mission on behalf of this country and went promiscuting. His wife was so embarrassed. His children were so embarrassed. He stood before a prostitute's camera, turning around, showing the prostitute how he could model. You went on behalf of the nation. Please postpone your libido. This is the same man. They never gave us any explanation for that. Because they don't respect us. They see us as idiots. Nobody explained to us why the minister did that. The video was all over. The prostitute recorded him and circulated the video all over. They never explained to us because they don't respect us. That's why I don't like this president. Now, he came from America, flew a drone in a no-flight zone in the president's office, shot a video, did everything. The president's daughter sent him there to meet the father. Are these guys serious? Yet every time Ghanaians are talking about coup, they get angry. They want to arrest you and beat you. The foolish things you are there doing are the things that will bring uprising against you. Yes, we have risen above coups. We don't want to hear anything about coups because those things are in the past. We will not support any coup. But if you continue doing these foolish things, we cannot guarantee. It's sad. It's so sad. Hey, a City FM journalist went to take a short video with his mobile phone at the national security places, parked cars. They caught him up, beat him and squeezed his balls like pepper. Beat him up. Yet you had a drone flying all over the presidential palace. Flying all over. And the American rapper is busily rapping about sex. How he met a girl and had sex with her on the first date. Yeah, man, yeah. Hey, who? Like that. He didn't rap about Africa. He didn't rap about the beautiful culture. He was rapping about sex on a first date. Oh, Jesus. This is a terrible president. God will punish you, this guy. A wicked man. And as for the national security, this is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show no more. Where we speak truth to power. I'm gone. Hey! Whoa!